Hi everyone and welcome to High Tech Investments News Report for Week 13. We will as usual share any links in the description below the video, that way you can always follow up any detail later. We hope you will enjoy this news feed, and look forward to your comments and remarks. But before we switch over to the news studio, please make sure you give that like button a click and don't forget to subscribe and keep the notification bell turned on. So, without further ado, let's go to the news studio. Today's presenter is Mr. Bo Schoening Larsen. Bo, over to you.
Hi, Bo here, and welcome back to this week's news report. As always, yes, you guessed it, plenty of profits, plenty of things to talk about. A lot of different projects has gone new, all-time high. We have new videos out, and we are still waiting for the yield notes results. But no matter what, let's get started. Let's see exactly how the week has gone. And the first part we wanted to bring out here is actually the promotion department again of yield notes. So as they remind us all that there's no security in a job, even a high paying one. So we have to be smart and rely on not just one income source, but multiple income sources. And obviously we bring this up because this is very much what we do here at High Tech Investment, making sure that we have multiple different projects, diversifying and also spreading our risk. And that's exactly how we done it ever since we started. So let's have a look at some of the things that has happened with yield notes. Obviously we don't have the new results that will actually come out shortly after this video, unfortunately, but let's just have a quick look at what we have made for the month of March. So 1.8 for the first week, 2% on the second week, and then we were a bit lower here, 1.6 for the third week. This is a long month, and obviously we expect a bit more profit than the 2%. And if we have a look at the weekly profit chart here, you'll also see that most of the weeks they end on all-time highs. They've done that for January, February, and now we're missing the last green dot. Unfortunately, that will only come out in our post on Friday or Saturday. And then obviously we'll talk about it again on the next news report. But if we get close to the 2.5, 2.6%. So for the last week, that means that we could get around 8% again for this month, which will be quite acceptable, definitely. But we have to wait and see so far. But things are still looking good in the crypto world. What really looks good for us here is the SAP Sapphire coin. Continues to be extremely stable. The return on the investment per year at the moment for the SAP masternoding continues to be around the 56-57%, as you can see here. And that also means that at the moment, week by week, we are doing approximately 1.3, 1.4%. So up from 41.4 last week to 42.88. And at the same time, the coin development has been extremely good to us in the last week. Actually, this result going from 298 last week to 344 is actually a bit low. A couple of days ago, as we track it, we were past 350%, but definitely we take this after 8 months of actually providing 344% profit is definitely good enough for us so far, but we expect a lot more to come. PNY is also on the rise here, also new time highs. Share masternoding is a bit lower, so we have seen it closer to the 300% in the last couple of weeks. It's down to 273 at the moment. Obviously it varies as we go, but again we have 20% per week at the moment, so from 289 to 310% on the share masternode basically means that we have 3 times as many coins now. And as the coin development, as the price increases, so we will also see the coin development going up. And in this particular week, it was a lot higher. So we lost about half of the extra profit here. We were up at 234, 35 at one point. And right now we're shooting the video. It's down a bit again, but 5% for the week is definitely something we can live with. And then we have some good news for some of our fellow investors, some people that wants to know a bit more also about Paraiba. So we have managed to reach the challenge that Paraiba has set for us. So it means that we needed to have a first line of minimum 25,000. a downline of 50,000. And if you qualified within that part, so before end of March, that means that we will get an invite. So in this case, most probably to Miami, and that will most probably happen at end of May, beginning of June. And this is obviously great news for us because we want to meet the Paribas team, we want to meet the CEO, and we also get a chance to meet other Paribas investors, people that have been in this for a lot longer than we have. We already have a few that has been there for 1.5 years, and it will be very interesting to hear and talk to them, see what they have. Paribas has also come up with the new income streams. So previously we have mentioned in our videos that we have that there's about 5 revenue income streams. Now we're up to 7, so that means there's 2 new ones and we don't really know much about them yet. So the crypto trading, which goes together with the 7 skilled traders plus the CEO, has been in for quite a while. The crypto exchange, unique exchange that we're using to fund the Paribas account, has also been there. Real estate investment is nothing new. That has also been on the project list for a while, but the new one is number 4 here, Soccer Arena, ticket merchandise sales, which obviously we don't know much about at the moment. Luckily, the coronavirus epidemic is not at its high, so hopefully this will create some extra profits. Beverage company we know has been there for a while now, but has been very locally operated. We now have token sales. Again, this is also a new one, and we need to hear a bit more about it, so before we can share it with the rest of you. And then we have the special Paribas Talk app that has also been out, and that is now become the 7th income stream. And we also been told that there's even more to come in 2022 regarding banking service. Obviously, we hope that they will have a crypto card, like we've seen with Hyperpay and other services, Crypto.com, etc. Most of them have this, and that means that we can use that in the normal shops to buy milk and bread, whatever else we need. There's also a new music industry that we haven't heard anything about yet, so that will be interesting to hear exactly what that will be. The KAIF, which is actually the soft drink here, will go to multiple different countries, and we also hope that when we meet up with the rest of the investors, we'll get a lot more details on this in the near future. Plus more to come apparently, so we're looking forward to what Paribas can do for us in the future. So far it takes over quite nicely. The profits are coming in 4 times a week, and we're loving it. The other one we love here is Elevate Pass. So now for week 13, the profit came in, and after a couple of weeks where we had 2%, it dropped down to 1.6. Last week it was 1.7 and now 1.8, which is absolutely great. So this is just the initial investment so that we have done ourselves. But what you have to remember also is you can bring other people in if that is what you want. So it means that your direct commission will be on top of the 1.8. So 10% for direct commission for any people that you refer in, and the rest of them in your matrix, you will actually get 1.8. So obviously the 1.8 will grow to 2-3% depending on how active you are with your team. AI marketing, so our painful child. We have seen that this has been a very difficult month. We have explained before that the payment section was resolved, but unfortunately the crisis in Ukraine had a bigger impact than anybody could have expected because some of the support was actually located in Ukraine. Internet connections went down. They were asked to move servers, and a lot of technical issues that we've been trying to follow, so through our media. And obviously this has made the all-time big hit. We've never been below 30% since we started back in October. But some of our robots have stopped. So we had 3 that was actually stopped at one point, ran out of advertising balance because it wasn't picking up the new one yet. Good news here is actually we can now confirm also that some of our robots has picked this up. This is in the early stages, but we certainly hope that this is now good news where we can actually go back, make some good, decent profits week after week, and at the same time we can get back to where we can get both money in and money out. So we'll keep you informed of that as always. So disappointing, but again, there's a bit of light at the end of the tunnel to see that some of the ad parts is picking up. And then in order to keep you updated on this, there's meetings every 2 weeks with the team leaders and AI marketing. And the next update will now be on the 5th of April. So normally you get it in PDF on our website, but the last one, we never got that. But there's a link where you could go in and have a look as usual. So go and get yourself updated. Obviously, it wasn't the most uplifting news we had last time, but now that we can see things moving, we are definitely looking forward to this meeting here to see if we can get a final deadline for when everything will be cleaned up again. We have a new video out also, and this is the Profit Retriever. So this is one of the robots from Expert4X. And we are showing a bit on how we have set this up for testing. So you can actually follow this. So that means you don't even have to invest in any robots. You can sit back, you can go in on our website, and you can follow some of the trading that we're doing. One of the robots here, when we did back testing, again, this is not real live testing, this is back testing. We are looking back at previous results, setting up our robots, and in 7 months it did $58,000. Obviously, past results doesn't necessarily reflect the future, so that's why we are running them currently on demo accounts. And as you can see here, we have gold versus US dollars, silver, and we have CAD USD, and we will expand on these on our homepage. You simply click on this icon and it gets you to the FX Blue site, which is a certified site where you can follow all our trades. One of the ones we have here, so as you can see, is the FX Blue, where again we go in and we have a look at the gold, and the gold is now 14-day-old history. And monthly returns is currently calculated at 13.5%, which is quite reasonable at the moment. And we'll see how things go. This is obviously only 2 weeks. We definitely need a couple of months in order to make sure that our settings and the robots are working exactly as we want them. The all-time high we have here is the CAD Swiss francs, where we have found some quite surprising settings, and as you will see, the weekly return alone is past 16%. Monthly return at the moment is 86.9, so quite large. The history of this particular setup is only 10 days old, so again, it takes time. What we've seen here is the profit has already done quite well. So we started off with 10,000, we have made 2,300. But at the moment, we have a huge drawdown, and obviously we are quite interested to see how the robot will work with this and if we are getting out of the trade again. So as we don't have any direct money involved, we can obviously test and try anything we want. And that's the whole idea of running live trading before you start using your own money. And this is the last week where we just will show this is the very first robot we got started on the British Pounds USD. It's basically been running for just over a month. So, and in that particular month, it has actually done 11.82% or $1,182 US. In the background, you can see the blue and the red stripes, and they all indicate individual trades. So it's been a very active robot. We've been quite happy with how this has been running so far. And from now on, you can basically follow it on our homepage, as I just showed you before. Last but least, Alex seems to be out of the hospital again, so thank God for that. So we hope that he is safe and healthy. One of the things that we've been looking forward to here is a bit of a course which should come out in the middle of April. And he gives again a few tips in this particular video here. So if you are interested, so in robot trading, definitely we suggest that you go and become a premium forum member. At the moment, it's at $34, I think, and 75 cents. You can get it a bit cheaper, all the way down to around 14 if you pay for a whole year in advance. And that gives you also access to this course that are coming. So this is for the premium forum members only. and it's quite valuable tool in order to make sure that if you trade your robots, that you know exactly how they work and how you should set them up. And that's what we had for you this week. As you can see, there is, as usual, plenty of good profits. All the things that we always talk about on the news report, you can find on the High Tech Investment webpage, and you can go and dig in there, and we will always add additional material. So for you to make the best judgment yourself, if you're interested in some of these projects that we are running. Obviously, the news report and any videos that we have out, it is always High Tech Investment's own journey. We are just sharing it with you. If you want to join this journey, just watch the videos, or if you want to invest, make sure you always do your own due diligence. So I hope, have a look, see if there's something you're interested in, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.
I hope you enjoyed our news report. So please don't forget to like and add your comment below, as we would love to get your feedback. But before you go, make sure you subscribe to the channel and don't forget to keep the notification bell turned on. That way, you will never miss any of our future videos. We hope to see you back on this channel very soon.